So there's all sorts of other settings that you can mess with here too, like prompt blending. That one came out pretty cool. Prompt blending, spatial and temporal. The number of... Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Ryan. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm so glad to be here. It's been a while. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I've been working on and where I've been. I've been really focused on real-time AI video generation. I've been head down working on a new project called Scope. This is headed by the all-powerful Yondon Fu, and it's fully focused on real-time AI video. An example of that is what you saw in the intro. I presume I'm going to put in a clip in the intro. So that's what we're talking about. Cool stuff like that. Some of you may be familiar with a previous experiment that we did called Comfy Stream, and Comfy Stream led us here. So this is a more focused project that we intend to be a playground for all real-time generative AI, where you can use it to build creative stuff or use it in your applications. We have like some integrations with other pipeline elements like Unreal Engine, Touch Designer, things like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set it up on RunPod. It'll run on a consumer GPU like a 5090, and that's what I usually use is my local 5090 here. But for this video, I want to show you the beefiest model that we currently support. So I've got a honkin' like H100 here, or whatever I picked. So I'll just go through the motions real quick here. I'm going to go to RunPod and go to pod templates, okay? And then search for scope. Select Daydream Scope, and then configure pod. And then select your GPU. Any NVIDIA GPU is going to work fine, 4090 or above. I think I picked an H200, so hopefully it's fast enough. Looks like it just finished spinning up. You can see that it automatically exposed port 800 here, which is great because that's what we need. Look over here, you can see we have these are all different pipelines, and really what that means, these are all different models that we're supporting. Interestingly, all of these here are auto-regressive distillations of WAN 2.1. So we've taken WAN, not us, the researchers have taken WAN 2.1, which is a bidirectional video model, meaning that when you generate a video, the model is aware of the entire timeline. It knows from the future and the past and generates the entire thing all at once, which is awesome. And you get really high quality stuff, but it's slow and limited in size. So these auto regressive distillations do little chunks at a time, and they've been trained using self-forcing. This stuff doesn't matter, but what matters is that these are based on WAN, but they're for streaming. So we do things in chunks, and there's a KV cache that helps with the model's memory over time. So you can get like some pretty crazy long stuff. But what's been really interesting in building this is adapting things from the WAN ecosystem, from the open source community, and getting them working here. So I'll talk a little bit about some of that stuff, but just know for now that all of these pipelines here are based on WAN 2.1. LongLive is based on WAN 2.1 1.3b parameter model. Kriya, the one I want to show you guys, is WAN 2.1 based on the 14 billion parameter model. So it's much larger. It will run on a 5090, but way better on Linux than Windows, and it's like not super quick. It's not super snappy on a 5090. So I usually use LongLive when I'm just like developing stuff locally because it runs pretty quick on a 5090. But for this, I'm going for the wow factor, baby. Let's go. So I don't know if this template has the Kriya. It doesn't. So let's download it. This will probably take I don't know how long this will take. It depends how RunPod is feeling today, but no way. Okay, this is the big one. All right, I'll be back in like 4 minutes. So the model is still downloading, but I realized I could just open a new tab and show you some of these things that I was talking about really quickly. I'd mentioned that we'd adapted some things from the open source community and gotten them to work in this autoregressive paradigm. So I'm going to tell you about those three main things: VAEs, LoRa's, and VACE. Starting with VAEs, I'd mentioned that the big model has a memory, the KV cache. Well, the VAEs also have a memory. And we don't just decode and encode these chunks independently. We do it in this streaming context. So there's some temporal consistency even with the between these chunks as we decode them from the latent space. So they all ship with the big fat WAN VAE. So what we did was add support for other lighter weight VAEs. Light VAE is a variation of the WAN VAE, and it's much faster for a small difference in quality. Next, I'll talk about LoRa's. For those of you who don't know, a LoRa is like a small fine tune for your model. And there are a bunch of LoRa's already trained out on the internet that you can use for free. And this isn't novel here. We just figured out that they all work. They work in this streaming context. Some better than others. And then last and certainly not least is VACE. So many of you might be intimately familiar with VACE. It was a huge addition to the WAN ecosystem, and it allows for things like conditioning frames, like depth maps, poses, whatever, reference images, first frame generation, so starting with an image and generating from there, last frame generation, like generating up until a frame, and generating in between these two frames. And there's also in painting, if I didn't mention that already. So we didn't do any additional training, but we did figure out how to get this working. Even though this is not the original intention of VACE, we figured out how to get it working in this streaming paradigm. I'm not going to go over this interface. I encourage you to check it out. This is a beta, so leave feedback for us, please, down in the comments. Give us some stars on GitHub or open an issue. There's also a Discord and like a community hub that I'll link in the description, and you can just chat with us as we build out this program here. So yeah, I'm going to go check and see if that model's downloaded. I'll be right back. All right, folks, the model downloaded. So let's go ahead and give this a whirl. So we're using the Kriya real-time video model with VACE input. So this is sending a depth map to the model. Not just this straight video, but a depth map of this video. So the first couple chunks are usually a little bit choppy, but it will catch up in a second. Right now, we're only using a prompt. So let me go ahead and add it. I'm going to turn off manage cache. So this will instantaneously update the prompt. So there's the cyberpunk aesthetic. And then let's do black and white film noir. And this is just the prompt. So, and this is like kind of stretched out. The interface, like the web interface has stretched the output. So it's a little bit, but we are building upscalers. So stay tuned. All right. So now I'm going to turn off manage cache and I'm going to put in a new prompt that's totally different. So we're going to go black and white to oil painting. And instead of an instantaneous switch like that, it should gradually change to an oil painting. So we will not get as strong of an oil painting effect because the model remembers that it was just outputting a black and white dude. This is the KV cache at work. So we end up getting something in between the final oil painting style and where we just came from. So manipulating these settings, like the cache settings, and cache bias can give you some interesting results. Like you can go I went between two styles, but you could go between like two objects. Like we could say a panda sitting at a desk. All right, that's horrifying. And then a man sitting at a desk. And it will slowly change from this panda thing more into a man, but it will keep some of the characteristics, I bet. Like it will make it so it's becoming more human, but he's still wearing this terrible green jumpsuit. So let's try a different prompt here. How about graphic novel? I'm gonna turn this off. So there's all sorts of other settings that you can mess with here too, like prompt blending. That one came out pretty cool. Prompt blending, spatial and temporal. The number of steps you can change, the noise scale you can change, all sorts of cool stuff. So that's that. Next time I'll come back, I'll show you how to install this locally, but it is very easy. And it's fast because we're using UV for environment management. So you can set this up locally following the README. I will also come back with a video and show you how to do it very, very soon. So thank you for watching. I've been Ryan. Give us some stars on GitHub. Check the links in the description. Blah, 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 blah. Bye-bye.